G'day everyone. Tonight we are taking an overnight train, a vintage overnight train run by 707's Operations from here at Southern Cross Station in Melbourne to Geelong to Ballarat, then all the way up to Witcherproof, which we should get there sometime in the morning. Now the consist of this train is made up of carriages from all over Australia. You've got Victorian railways, New South Wales railways and South Australian railways. This train is broad gauge, yet some of the stock was standard gauge originally. Anyway, we'll get into a history about some of the carriages, everything like that as the journey goes on. Let's go. This train was made up of just over 300 metres of sleeping cars from iconic trains of Australia's railway history like the Southern Aurora, Overland, Spirit of Progress, as well as former V-Line and Victorian railway sitting cars. As well as that, there were also a couple of parlour cars to really offer that kind of premium trip. I should also point out that this tour was hauled by two H-class diesel locomotives, but more importantly, the 1954 built Hudson R707, the pride of 707 operations fleet. Now we departed Southern Cross Railway Station right on 10 p.m, making our way over the North Melbourne flyover in grand style with the steam locomotive making all the right noises. I did get a real treat being right at the back of the train to be able to get these shots. The 300 or so metres of train made its way through industrial Melbourne, along the regional fast rail line to Geelong, where it would then run up to Ballarat through the night, and we would wake up somewhere in northern Victoria the next morning. Okay, now it's a bit before 9 a.m. and we are currently about a few k's outside of Corong Vale, which is where the line splits and goes in two different directions. So this morning we're heading to Witcherproof, which is where the railway line runs down the middle of the street, which is really, really cool. And then we head up to Sea Lake, where we'll have a look around, the train will get turned, we'll stop for lunch, and then we go and look at some silo art. Now, on my sleep last night, so after we left Southern Cross, wandered around the train for a bit, went and had a sit down, have a drink, and then try to go to bed. Now, this carriage is, well, it's over 100 years old, and it makes a bit of noise, a bit of creaking, things like that, and it was a little bit hard to get to sleep, but I did get to sleep, woke up a few times. I know we stopped in Ballarat and I heard a freight train go past, and there's a few other stops and starts throughout the night, but other than that, it was all right. Now that it's a bit brighter in here, I guess I can take you for a bit of a tour. I've got my bed. It was actually quite comfortable. Even the pillow was quite soft and nice, and I had nothing bad to say about the quality of the bed. There's some storage. So you've got a wash basin. You can wash your hands, things like that. And there is also a second bunk in here, but I'm on my own, so it's not so bad. I can imagine if there was two people in here, you might be a bit pushed for storage room, but absolutely fine for one person. Anyway, it looks like it's an absolutely beautiful day outside. What a way to wake up. The shades came down, however there's no shade over this one, and there was a hallway light on. I can sleep through pretty much anything, so not so bad. That is something to be aware of if you are planning on coming on one of these. If you're in one of the Overland or Southern Aurora cars, I believe that they are total blackout rooms, whereas these, there is a little bit of light coming through. I did notice around 7 a.m. when I woke up, a bit of light coming through the windows. Anyway, should be in Witcherproof in about an hour or so. I know we're running about an hour behind, according to Facebook. Something went wrong last night, but I'm not sure what. I guess I'll find out during the day. So yeah, that's the trip so far. So let's get into, I guess, day 2. Yeah, pretty good so far.
So 707 operations also give you amenities for your room, like soap, toothbrush, chocolate, sanitizer, some bickies, plus your bedding and linen. With showers available in the adjoining former Southern Aurora sleeping cars. Now the showers for anyone in a single berth sleeping car or our carriage had shared shower facilities. Now, although they were quite small and taking a shower at 80 kilometers an hour is quite a new experience, however, the water was hot and the pressure was absolutely fine. I do believe that if you stay in one of the other sleeping cars, like the twin berth rooms, that you do have a shower available in your room. So I should also point out meals are included with this package, and they are primarily served in the former Ritz Rail parlour car. Now, as we moved through the country, it did appear that our train was running, like I've said, an hour behind. Although I don't really see this as being a problem for us rail fans who do quite enjoy being on the train. Now, according to social media, 707 had some issues at Ballarat, where it also had been detached from the train and turned, putting it third in the consist behind the two H-class locomotives, now running 10 to first. This is due to the turntable at Witcherproof currently not being able to turn such a big locomotive. At least that's what I'm told at the moment. Now at Witcherproof, we did pick up some locals who are coming with us for a day trip to Sea Lake and return. The most interesting part of stopping or travelling through here is that the railway line does run up the middle of the street, and I believe it's only one of 2 places left in Australia where that still happens. However, if I am wrong, do tell me in the comments below. Now the landscape out here is well minimalist to say the least, mainly flat farming land, but we slowly journeyed our way to Sea Lake, passing through places like Nullawil. Now I do like the names of the places out here like Teddywally West, Birriwallick, Chickapook, just to name a few.
So there you go. So now we are at the end of the line. This is Sea Lake, so we're a little over 400 kilometres from where we left off last night. And the locomotives are going to do a switch around, and then there's a couple of tour options now. You can catch a bus and you can go and check out some of the other silo art that are around this part of the state. Otherwise, you can catch the train back to Witcherproof and have an afternoon in Witcherproof. So yeah, a couple of different choices. Anyway, it's been a great day. It is a little cold, but it is nearly midday, so it is warming up. So yeah, we're just going to watch the locomotives switch around, and then we'll get into the afternoon. Great trip so far. Really, really interesting. Really something really different, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Even if it is a little cold. Can't complain.
So in terms of pricing for this weekend, you'd be looking anywhere between $1,100 and $700 respectively. For example, a premium twinette sleeper would set you back about $1,095 per person, whereas sleeping in the Wando, which is a non-air conditioned twinette sleeper, would set you back $700 per person. Now if you are interested in a 707 operations trip, they do have some coming up. There is another silo art tour to Tokenwall on the 5th to the 7th of August, as well as an identical trip to this happening on the 2nd to the 4th of September. And if you are interested, I would recommend booking now, as these trips do tend to sell out. As well as that, they do run daytime trips. So if you are interested in more information about 707 operations, or even how to save a little bit of money on these trips by becoming a member, I'll leave all the links in the description box below. Once we'd returned to Witcherproof on that Saturday evening, the train stabled in the silo road to keep the main line free for any freight trains that may pass during the night.
So there we go. After a full day of travelling from Melbourne last night to Sea Lake today and back from Sea Lake to here at Witcherproof. Really, really great day. I am extremely tired, but I'm sure I'm not as tired as the crews who are operating this and the volunteers who run it. They are doing an amazing job. And I guess we're only halfway through. So I'm currently in Witcherproof and I'm in Centenary Park. And tonight we are going to the pub, the Junction Hotel, I think it was called. And yeah, we're there from about 5:30. So it's only 4:30 now. Obviously the sun is starting to fade, but gonna go for a quick walk through, around town, and then yeah, we'll go out for dinner, sleep on the train. Tonight it's not moving, so I assume I will get a full night's sleep. Gotta hope so. And then we will head back to Melbourne. Well, actually we won't head back to Melbourne in the morning. Tomorrow morning we head back up to Nullwall. I hope I say that place right. And then back to here, and then back to Melbourne from about midday. So yeah, let's get into tonight. Something to eat, a couple of beers, and then yeah, back to Melbourne. So far so good. Really, really excellent, and the crew and everyone running this has just been fantastic. So really looking forward to tonight and what's next.
So on my walk around the interesting town of Witcherproof, which has some great heritage buildings, and you can see that there is some money being spent on making the town quite presentable. Now in this town of just over 600 people, you can really see the importance of the railways. Although passenger services did stop running here in 1977, although freight trains still very much use the line, with mainly grain trains. These can even be seen in the pub. Something of real interest here for us rail fans is Locomotive K167 and a Z-Class brake van plinth next to the turntable, although they do look like they could use a bit of a cosmetic restoration. So from an evening at the pub, it was back to the train for a stationary night's sleep. I woke a little late on Sunday morning to a moving train heading back up the line to Nullwall, where there was a second shuttle trip as well as a race with the train. Now, the all-day return was probably the highlight of the trip, at least for me, and I can't think of a better way to spend a Sunday than to spend the day pretty well in bed watching the Victorian countryside roll past. Seeing the locals to come wait for the train or the Gunzels chasing it all the way back to Melbourne. We did get a few chances to step off the train, once at the amazing Maryborough railway station, whilst the locomotive took on water. Once we left Maryborough, it was a very fast run via Clunes and Talbot to the regional city of Ballarat, where we once again stopped to take on water. By the time the train was ready, it was already getting very dark, so we ran back to Melbourne via the Strait, which is, for those who don't know, via Bacchus Marsh, the way that the D-Line commuter trains run, back into Melbourne. Now I guess my thoughts on this journey. It was excellent, and what an amazing experience. A mix of luxury and heritage train travel. I mean, what's better? Now I do reckon I will do this again, and like I said, there is other trips planned for this year. So if you are interested, once again, check out their website. Though I reckon next time I wouldn't mind trying to book a ticket in one of the other sleeper cars like the Overland, as they appear to not only have air conditioning, but also a shower in the room. But that'll be for another adventure. Now, if you did enjoy this video and want to see more like this, let me know your thoughts. And of course, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out any upcoming videos. So until next time, hooroo.